I am the Sergeant at Arms today. My name is Jenna Picata, and I'm one of the co-creators of this idea of this Content Creators Toastmasters Club. And I am so excited that this is our second meeting together. And I will officially open this meeting at 5:31 right now. And I will pass over control to our Toastmaster today, who is Jim Vitrano. So everybody please welcome Jim.
All right, well, thank you for such a warm welcome, and good to be back here, and good to see us getting started even a couple of minutes early. So I suppose I will do just a little bit of introductory stuff. I also want to buy enough time so if anybody happens to show up at 5:35, we aren't too far along already. But I see we have a bunch of guests. Some people look familiar, and some people actually a lot of the names going by on my screen. I don't think we're here 3 weeks ago when we did our initial meeting. So that's really good. Some of our guests mind just popping on and letting us know how they heard about us and what they're hoping to get. Monique, do you want to go first? Or?
I must just go first. My name is Monique. I am from Charleston, South Carolina. I reside in Brooklyn, New York. I was invited by my lovely sister Delisle, which I've been following her for a while. And I always wanted to be a part of a group that we're talking about creating in a community where everyone get to gift their talents. You know what I'm saying? Like really come out with poetry and learn different ways and creative content like what you have right now behind your screen, Gina, and being themselves, so I'm excited. I'm glad I'm here.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. Ava, I think you were here last time, right?
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add, or welcome back?
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to have another amazing meeting with you. And I learned a lot last meeting with the speech. And yes, I am looking forward for this meeting again. Thank you for having me.
Great. Well, thanks for being back. We've got Paco, who we'll be hearing a bunch more from shortly. Anything you'd like to say right here at the beginning?
What's up, everyone? My name is Paco. First time in this meeting, but I'm looking forward to what is going to be said, and hopefully I'm able to help anyone in here with any questions they have about, content creating themselves. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad you came, Pac. And just working my way down the screen, Handan, I think I don't remember seeing you last time. Are you new today?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wait, you're on mute now.
Yeah, we heard you at first.
Uh-oh. She's in Sunnyvale, is what I do know. And now she's walking.
She fell off of my screen.
Handan, you're on mute if you can hear us.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm talking. Hi. Again. Okay, I will repeat again. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is, my name is Handan. I'm from originally Turkey. I live in Sunnyvale for 2 years. Yeah, and my English is not very well for now. I try to improve my English skills. Yes, and I'm a small influencer on Instagram, and I'm happy to see you in this meeting. I will record this meeting, and after then finish, I will translate some sentence because I don't understand some sentence. This is difficult for me, but I will translate and I will correctly fully understand. Yeah, thank you for this meeting. Thank you.
Your English is fine. Your mute button is fine. It takes some practice. And hey, welcome to your other guest there to your right.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to improve myself.
We're a fun bunch. I hope she'll enjoy too. Hillary, I think you're new as well.
Hillary,
you might have gotten him.
you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you got it.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me or no?
Yes, we can.
So right now you hear me now, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me start over. So I'm really new to content creator. I am in real estate and businesses. So I am a realtor investor. So we invest in real estate market. We invest on houses, apartments, and also business. We buy business, we fund business. So I like to learn about the content creator to see if I can deliver more value to people that I helping. And I also, right now, the AI, the content creator is very powerful. So I like to learn a lot from you guys to see if I can deliver the most and effective way to do business in the future. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, this is the first time.
Yep, thank you, Hillary. Yes, you and I think, share kind of a goal here. I'm hoping to get some content creating going as well to try to break into a new field myself. So this is useful for getting personal messages out, getting style preferences out, but yeah, maybe for building businesses too. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, we all good. Thank you.
So we've got a few people I don't remember seeing before. Sunil, I think you're new.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sunil. Sorry I joined a little late. I'm relatively new to content marketing as well. I started a podcast called AI on AI, and it's AI's talking, like unscripted conversations between AI. So I'm not involved in the podcast at all. And then I created that, and then I decided that I could turn that into a product. So I have a small little startup that I started called Pod Potion, and you can type in a prompt and enter the topic that you want to hear, and it will create a whole podcast series for you. They're 5-minute segments. It'll create an episode outline and transcript, and then an audio file for you to listen to the podcast.
Oh, very nice.
That sounds like fun, and that's a white hot topic right now. Everybody wants to learn more about AI, so hopefully you can share some more as we go. Maybe you already have, and we just need to go find and listen.
Yes.
Dina, I think you're new.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm new. I've been a content creator on Instagram like since 2013.
Nice.
And now I'm planning to, how to say, like I opened my YouTube channel, and because it's completely different from Instagram, but I like to build like maybe deeper connection to my followers, because in my opinion, TikTok and Instagram, the two, like I can call them like fast relationship, when you date a guy and like when he tell you like few stuff or few TikTok dances, you don't get it. But if he will build strong and deep relationship with you through like podcast on YouTube, like you can build like better and long-term relationship. And that's why, you know, like I'm here and I'm trying to maybe find new insights, new ideas for my YouTube channel.
What is your YouTube channel name?
Dina Farmer Official.
Dina Farmer Official. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It's great to it's great to hear people are already into content creation too. Hopefully this group gives you something of value too, and hopefully we might ask you to give a little bit more of a talk at some point here as well. Not this week, but we're trying to get future meetings set up too. So if people have things to share, I think this will be a nice platform to share it. I saw a couple more new people pop in. EB, are you still around? Or oh, they may have disappeared. Michelle, anything you'd like to share?
Hi, my name is Michelle. I actually want to create a school called like Line Your Financial Duck School, which is to help women to really jumpstart, feel confidence and happy about financial matters. But because I'm from Hong Kong, so I always be very conscious about my accent, and then I just want to really get like encouraged and also learn some techniques about how to create good content. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, that's a very useful thing. People can always learn some new things about how to manage their money and end up in a better place later. It's a great thing. Madura, you might be the last one from, yeah, you might be the last new person I see. But
yeah, I came across this thing on Meetup and thought I'll give it a shot. So I've been trying. I'm a software developer, but I'm trying to create some content and trying to create some comics. So a completely different content. I thought I would give this thing a shot and see what's happening here, and see if I can learn something from other content creators to see how I can grow this to become more than just like a hobby.
Very nice.
wonderful. Yeah, well, thank you all for being here. Is there anybody else who's new? And we have, oh, Ayula, I think you just popped in. You want to say anything about how
Hi.
you feel while you're here?
Yeah, I found this group on Meetup and I just wanted to find out courage. It's not like I don't have the confidence. I'm just very self-conscious when it comes to posting stuff on Instagram or TikTok. I'm just scared that people are gonna criticize it. Someone's gonna say something in the comments like super mean. So that's what's been holding me back from creating content. And sometimes it's a little complicated when it comes to like editing and all that stuff. I would like to learn stuff about that too. Thank you. And it's good to meet all of you.
Yeah.
I know I was late. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's just on time is even better, but you made it. That's the important things. Thanks for being here, Ayula.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else who I didn't catch already? I think I got everybody I see. But yet again, we're hoping to be a supportive community to help people get their message out and get their goals, whatever they happen to be, whether it's Instagram, blogs, YouTube's, books, TikTok. That's another one. Lots and lots of ways to get your message out these days, and we're all about helping you get there. So, thank you for being here. Let's see.
Thank you for having us.
So we'll move on to the things that the Toastmaster is actually listed as supposed to be doing. The first of them, in most Toastmasters meetings, we'll pick a theme and a word of the day. And here in Content Creators, we're trying to pick some words of the day that people can use when talking about the content. So today's word of the day is as simple as audience. The group of people reached by a book, radio, TV broadcast, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the different things that we just talked about. So feel free to use the word audience today. If you do, some of us will recognize it. I think we still have an opening for somebody who can actually count them and let us know how many times each person has done it. But you'll see people waving their hands up or somehow indicating that they heard the word of the day. It's anything. Sometimes the words get a little bit more complicated, but it's a simple one. And the next thing on our list is a joke master. We wanted to try to get the meeting off to a little bit of a lighthearted start. And it turns out that our main speaker today actually does some humor videos. So we figured he'd be in a really good spot to give us some humor to start us with. So without further ado, let's introduce Paco Vehikite for a joke.
Yay. And I reached out to him today to ask him what were some of his favorite videos, but then I had to sneak in my favorite video just because the Super Bowl came and went, and I'm a huge 49er fan, and there was one video that I just loved of his. So I'm going to start with that one, and then I'm going to show. Is that okay, Pac, that I do this one first and then the next one? Okay. So let me just make sure that I am sharing my sound, and I need to select the right thing. Here we go. All right, here's one of his videos.
Bang Bang Niner Gang. You know what it is. You know what it is, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay. But check the stats, though. The all-time series record against us? Come on. You know, man, forget all that. You know who runs the West, bro. You know who runs the West.
We do.
Yep. Rams, baby. Last year's game was a fluke, all right? We ain't gonna talk about that. We coming for it this year, though. Quest for 6, baby. You know it. And y'all been saying Quest for 6 for the longest time, man. Well, at least we can say Quest for 6. What are you guys on? Quest for 2? Okay, that don't mean nothing, though. You know, I'm just saying my argument is valid, though, because you don't know, man. All y'all teams are garbage. Raiders Nation, baby. Hey, I know for damn sure he ain't talking.
Why is he even in the same room as us?
Who are you, dog?
Like,
come on. Hey, he over here talking about Nation. Hey, when was the last time y'all was actually good? In their imagination. Makes sense. Nation. Raider Nation. Bang Bang Niner Gang. You know what it is. You know what it is, man.
All right, that was one of them. And then here is it. Well, let me refresh the page. I'm not sure if this is the beginning, but.
What is all that? Oh. I'm off to kill you now. Actually, I invite you to stay. What? My brother in Christ. This is God's house. Welcome. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's okay. But I insist. You can keep the team here.
Oh, what's the rush? I just want to tell you about our good Savior, Jesus Christ.
I must have stumbled upon the wrong house.
God sent you here for a reason, brother. Come on.
We can talk about it over some tea. Let me grab my Bible and... Nope, I'm good. What is all that?
I'm going to stop it right there. So let's everybody give a round of applause for Pac and his Instagram. His Instagram is Laugh with Pac. So before I turn it back over to Jim, do you want to say anything about, well, why did you choose that last one why is that one of your favorite videos that you have made?
So that one was more of, I like that one just because the idea behind it. I come up with, all my videos are kind of just stuff that I come up with on my own on the fly. And that video to me, actually, I liked it a lot. I looked a little busted in the video. I'm sorry about that. Don't mind how I looked, but I just liked it just because I thought I did personally for me personally. I thought I did pretty good. I thought the editing was good. The sound was good. And my favorite part was adding the soundtrack in there. That's why it kind of added a little different taste to it. So that's kind of my opinion on why I liked it.
I love it. And we're going to get more into that because I do want to hear, like, those videos really cut into like who you are, and that
Yeah.
we all bring different identities to this work, whatever content creation we're thinking about. So thank you, Paco, for being
Yeah, of
here.
course.
And Jim, we'll turn it back to you.
Great. Thank you, Jenna. Yep. Along with some of the roles that you've seen our Sergeant at Arms, Jenna, you've seen me attempting to do this Toastmaster role. We have a few other roles that we'll get to tonight as well. One of them is a little bit of an impromptu speaking exercise that, in addition to introducing yourselves, many of you will get a chance to do tonight as well. And the person with the questions is Jenna again.
Yes. So as we were planning, I thought that since I will be interviewing Paco about his content creation, right after that, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So that's going to actually be a little bit of part of Table Topics. You'll have an opportunity to ask him any questions that you have. And then if we have extra time, I have some questions about content creation. So you can choose a number and I'll ask you a question, and you will have 1 to 2 minutes to respond to that question. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you. Another big thing that you get here in Content Creators and at any Toastmasters club is helpful, actionable feedback. You give a speech, there'll be an opportunity to have somebody give you a couple of minutes of ideas on what you did really well and how you can make the next speech even better. And that portion of our meeting is headed up by Dalal, our general evaluator. Are you on mute, Dalal, or do you have anything you'd like to?
Could you repeat that, Jim? I was writing something.
I just wanted to see if you wanted to say anything about your role as general evaluator tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Well, welcome everyone to this wonderful meeting. I just want to say I appreciate everybody's presence here today. It is filling my whole day up. As general evaluator, I get to introduce the functionaries which we usually have in Toastmasters. That encompasses the timer to help us keep track of the meeting. It encompasses the counter and grammarian, which helps us work on our ahs, and the way that we use language in the meeting. And there are other roles that we try to fill in every meeting, and I help introduce those roles. And I also give a general evaluation of how the meeting went, what our strengths and what was the energy that we felt throughout the meeting. So thank you all for being here today. And thanks, Jim.
Yep, thank you. For those of you following along on your agenda, I'm going to do the next one out of order because I'm thinking there might be 2 people each halfway listed. And our counter today, I'm not sure if it's Monique or if it's Handan. I don't know. What's written on my sheet has Monique's first name and Handan's last name, so I want to make sure we get the right one. Are either of you planning to be our counter today?
It was
Yes.
Sorry.
The role I was supposed to be playing? That's what you're talking about?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Are you counting the runs?
Okay, so this is going to be so much fun. I have a question though. Do I say the person's name, or like when we're expressing the arms, the eyes, I like, and this and that, and do I say to the person personally, or do I just put it out there openly? I meant to ask that earlier, before time.
Usually people just kind of keep counting, and then at the end there's a chance where you can go around and say, this person, you had that many so's and this many ums. And if the number, and sometimes if the number's really large, sometimes it'll just be more than 10.
Yeah. It's more than 10. I'm gonna tell you
Once
that.
you get to that point, nobody needs to know that the actual number is.
Okay, awesome. So again, my name is Monique, like I said earlier. And y'all heard me say and so many times. Did you just hear that? I am kind of nervous. And I know we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people that went over the limit of 10 and eyes and likes. And I was like, this is hard. How do you? So my question is to you guys is, when you're so conditioned to speak a certain type of way, what are the ways that you can use to uncondition yourself from speaking the I like this, and what are things that we can use on a day-to-day basis, not only in just this content, but really in life. So, that's just how I feel. Like, I know I'd be tough. See, like, now that I'm noticing and I'm aware, I'm like, ah.
And that is the first step.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, yeah, feedback and practice, those go a long way, and techniques to make your speech sound even smoother. I bet that's another great topic for another speaker another week. We could probably go on for quite some time with that.
Okay. That's all.
Along with listening for ahs and ums, are you comfortable listening for audience as well, by any chance? Yeah. Okay. That's our word of the day. That helps us fill in one of the roles. And
okay.
This is also a great role to just kind of practice those listening skills too. Every word said here has to go through your head a couple of times. Wait, was that audience? Was that an do I count it? It's a new skill. So it sounds simple, but you learn a lot by doing it. So thank you. Our meeting is probably nowhere near on time right now, but we also have a person who keeps track of the time and will let us know how we do with that. And he's actually a pretty high up person here in the Toastmasters organization. He's what's called a division director, but Venu is here to serve as timer today.
Hello everyone. So is this a functionary role overview happening at this time? Okay. Yeah, I just joined a little late. Apologies for that. Coming from a different meeting. So Toastmaster stresses more on the time management. If you're giving a speech and you're not on time, then that's as good as not giving a speech. That's why we have a role called timer. And today I will play the role of a timer who actually keeps track of how much time people are spending to speak. Typically, we have prepared speeches of between 4 and 6 minutes, 5 and 7 minutes, and there will be table topics which will have really like 1 to 2 minutes. So what I'm actually going to do is I will change my background as soon as the time is reached, so that you can see green, you can see amber, and you can see yellow. I will provide my report at the end of this meeting, in the third section of this meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Great. Thank you, Venu. Just before we get into our speaker, I think one more person joined us in midstream. I think, Jenny, are you new to this meeting? I don't remember you the last time. Would you like to say anything about what brought you here?
Yes, it's my first time. I guess I was just curious what it was because I mostly post on TikTok and I've been trying to take it seriously now this year, but I've been posting since 2021, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to know more strategies and more tips on how to grow my page. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. One thing, I know it made its way into the chat before. If you go back to 541, I think Jenna's got an item in the chat where she's got a link to a guest book. If you wouldn't mind going there and signing up, so we at least know how to get a hold of you and make sure you find out about future meetings in the actual process of signing up and starting up a real Toastmasters, so it should be at the bottom of the chat now. So thank you for doing that. And as you're doing that, we'll get our guest speaker today. Jenna, do you have any sort of introduction for him, or do you think he introduced himself with his videos earlier?
Well, I will be interviewing him today, and I will let him tell his story. And I'll give you a little bit of background of how I even came to know that he was a content creator. My husband is a football coach, and I think it must have been one of his first years coaching Santa Clara High, where Paco was one of the students there, and they just had a really great connection. And he told me, well, if you're looking for a content creator, I know somebody. And that was actually, I think, like 10 years ago when he coached you. And so it's just so great that you stayed in touch. And he said that Sean, my husband, told me that Paco is somebody that I would really get along with. So sure enough, like I've already had some great conversations with him, and just looking at his TikTok, I think you are all gonna learn a lot from him. So we are going to be hearing from Paco today, who I'm not on TikTok, but I'm on Instagram, and I see that he has 66.8 thousand followers. So for those of you in the audience, get your questions out, and then I'm going to open this up so that you can ask any questions. And Paco, I know he said he was nervous about this, but just do your best. And I think what I love about Toastmasters and this idea of a content creators Toastmasters club is that what we really want to get down to is getting everybody to just be free to be who they are, be their authentic selves. And that's what I see in Paco's videos. So Paco, do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and what inspired you to start creating funny and creative TikTok and Instagram videos? And how does that reflect who you are as a person?
Yeah, so thank you for the wonderful introduction. Shout out to your husband, Sean. He's a great guy. I call him Coach Picata. I've always called him Coach Picata since, every time, even though I'm like not even his one of his athletes anymore, I still call him Coach, out of respect. And I love the man. He's awesome. So shout out to him. Shout out to you as well. And I did see in the chat, someone said I was a celebrity. First, no, not a celebrity yet, but just another man doing what he loves to do. But basically, I got into content creating in 2018. And it started off when I was in junior college. I've always been kind of the class clown. I've always been the guy that just, likes to bring the energy to, team efforts, classroom environments. Whenever we were playing on the baseball field or football field, I just loved bringing everybody up and bringing the energy. So kind of just one day we were in the library and we were kind of having study hall, and then one of my friends was like, "Hey, you should make a YouTube channel." And I was like, "Nah, I mean, maybe I'll start small on Instagram." They're like, "All right, yeah, start small on Instagram." So I started on Instagram in I think somewhere in March 2018. And I just started making small videos just because I was like, "Oh, let me give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes." And I was nervous at first. Also, I do say like all that stuff. So I know, Monique, I'm gonna give you you get that pen ready, because you're gonna be doing this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize for using. I'm a little nervous, but I started making content in 2018 because it fit my personality. I've always been the guy to bring the energy, and always I love seeing people smile. I love making people laugh, and I just making content and expressing myself, really, but being able to express myself to everyone made me happy. So it started off rough, but the more you continue and stay consistent, the more you're gonna grow. So yeah, just my personality itself and the little push from my baseball teammates, they helped me start. And the likes and people showing me love was what kept me motivated to continue making content. So it was great.
Thank you. Can you describe your creative process and how you ensure that your content resonates with your audience while still staying true to yourself?
Right. All right. So basically, I have on my phone. I have a note. I have my notes. Everyone has notes in their phone. Usually, when I come up with content, it kind of happens. Like I'm going to be honest with you guys. It happens on the spot. I'll be doing regular daily activities. I'll be watching TV, or I'll be at work, or I'll be driving, and then this is one of the ways. I'll think of something that happens, or something happens in front of my eyes that just kind of makes me laugh, and I'm just like, oh, that'd be funny if it was a video. So then I'd write it down. And then I would add my own twist to it. And then I would start creating, like, this is like pre-production. I would start creating a little script about like how it would play out in my head. So something would happen in front of my face, but then I would end up writing it down and creating my own little spin-off to it. As a like something like, say you're at Target, and then a mother is with her child, and then the child does something funny, and they're like, oh, I mean, that'd be pretty funny if it was this way. So then I would write it down, and then I would add that, and then I would put it obviously into the video and edit it my way, and it would actually do really good. So that's one way I like to make content. Another way I like to make content is I like to look at trends. I wouldn't say if I'm desperate for content. It's more of like, if I see on TikTok or Instagram that there's a specific topic or trend that's doing really well, I'll say, oh, you know what? Like on TikTok, it's all about sounds. If there's a specific sound that's trending on TikTok, I will look at that sound. I will go on the sound, and I'll look at all the videos underneath all the sounds. And I'd say, okay, like this is what people are doing to it, yada, yada. I would save the sound, and then I would think of a way to make my own version too. Like recently there was a video I created. It was a video. It was a Chinese song soundtrack. And on the video, I clicked on the soundtrack because I seen a bunch of different creators, making videos to it. And, it was, one of the videos was, oh, call my ex or sing in Chinese. So obviously he was singing in Chinese, so he wouldn't call his ex. So then I was like, okay, trying to find something that would, and a lot of people liked it because they were relating to it, because a lot of people don't want to call their ex, of course. So I was like, okay, let me find something that would resonate with the people, or something that's like kind of funny, or would people would relate to. So, and then I was like, oh, give up fast food forever or sing in Chinese. So obviously I was singing in Chinese, and in the Jack in the Box drive-through line. So that because I'm not giving up fast food. So it's just something like that. I just added my own little spin-off, but I try to make sure that when I do hop on a trend, I'm not copying someone else's stuff. So that's why I'll look through it, and I'll come up with the idea in my head, and I'll look through the trend, because a lot of people don't like recycled stuff. A lot of audience members like to see original pieces. I wouldn't say that's original, but I mean, no one did it before me, so I'll say it's original. So I'd say look at what people are posting, and just kind of make your own spin to it, and that's kind of what I do. That's another way I create content, is getting inspiration from other content creators, but adding my own spin to it, or making my own version of what they're doing, but not copywriting, if that makes sense. Like they have their own, like they make their own video, but I made my own version of the video type deal. But it doesn't, but I've gotten to a point where there have been times where I do get inspiration from other, because there's a difference between stealing content and getting inspiration from other people. And that's what you'll learn with content creating, is that if someone sees a video similar to yours, they're gonna accuse you and say, oh, you're stealing content. No, I got inspiration to do it my way, or do it a certain way, or change up how the caption is, or how the whole video plays out. So yeah, it's mainly just getting inspiration from others, or just seeing something happen in front of my face and putting it in my notes and making my own version of it.
Right. And the final question I'm going to ask, and then I'll open it up, is how do you measure the success of your content beyond likes and views? And what feedback or reactions from your audience have reinforced your passion for creating?
So that is the one thing. I forgot who mentioned it earlier, but someone mentioned earlier about how they were very hesitant to create content based on people, judging you and stuff. And that's the one thing you guys have to get past, especially with content creating, because that's one thing I learned with being in content creation. Because I have 66.8 thousand followers on Instagram, and then I have 1.2 million on TikTok. So it's that came from a lot of work, obviously, but with all the love that I get, there's also a lot of hate that comes with it. But that's just part of the game. That's just part of the whole content creating game, and that's what you guys have to understand is not everyone is gonna love you. This entertainment and content creating, not everyone. If everyone loved you, everybody would be following you. But that's just something that you have to accept and be okay with. You're gonna have, but you also have to look at the amount of love you get is always going to outweigh the negative. So that's what you have to also remember. And I think, likes and views, it was tough at first. You have to look at content creating more as you have to look at it past the likes and the views. Because if you're looking at content creating as just likes and views, you're not going to have fun doing it. And you're not going to want to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So when I first started in 2018, I only had 60 followers, and that was for my baseball guys. So I was creating content for them, and I kept it just minimal, and they were showing me love, and it was great. But then I decided to expand my my content and throw hashtags in, and I started to reach a bigger audience as opposed to just my baseball guys. And yeah, I was getting a bunch of hate. People were saying a bunch of stuff, but then I was also getting a lot more love. So you'll get a lot of love comment, and then you'll see in the comments one thing is, oh, this guy's not funny. Oh, this guy looks like this, like this. But you just can't pay attention to that because you have to also pay attention to the other people that are showing you love. So the people's feedback and the amount of love that I've gotten over the years has what's helped me stay motivated. Because if you pay attention to all the negative stuff, all the negative comments, and you pay attention to, oh, this video didn't do well, I'm not going to make it. Oh, I didn't get this many likes. Oh, I didn't get this many shares. And you base that off that, you're not gonna succeed. Because I use my content, if one video doesn't do as well as another one, I use that as fuel. And I use that as like, oh, okay, maybe the audience didn't like this. Let me change it up. Let me do something different, as opposed to like, oh, they didn't like that. Oh, I'm no good. Dang. It's easy to give up, but you can't in this business, especially if you want to grow. You just have to keep going. And one thing I will recommend is, I do it a lot though, but what I've learned from other content creators and myself is, if you really want to succeed in this, don't read the comments. Don't read the comments, because a lot of people's opinions are going to hurt you. And but I've grown to like, it's okay. I delete it. But then, and I still read comments. As much as I read comments, I try not to. But yeah, one thing I'd get from this is, don't let the likes, comments, and all that stuff keep you like from creating content. Like, keep creating content because you enjoy it. Don't just rely on your on the likes as like your form of happiness to continue. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yay, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
With that, I'm going to open it up. Does anybody else have any questions for Pac? You can unmute yourself. You could raise your hand. You can type a question in the chat box. All right, Ayula.
I wanted to ask how to go about like raising the amount of followers that you have on TikTok. I haven't had an issue with that on Instagram. I don't have that many followers on Instagram. I have an issue on Instagram where like I'm losing followers every day. I had like 2,000 followers like 2 months ago, and now they're like 1,900 and something followers. I don't know why they keep dropping. And then someone follows me again, and then it drops again. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that issue also, but I'm trying to figure out a way to like grow the followers. It's like an organic amount of followers that I grew over 10 years when I started posting on Instagram back in 2013. So I don't know how to go about it. It's kind of frustrating sometimes. And TikTok is, I feel like I'm gonna invest more time into posting on TikTok because in the space of 2 months, like 60 people followed me on TikTok that I don't know them. But these are people that I don't even know. They don't have any reason to follow me. So maybe I should put more energy into TikTok. So I just want to know what your opinion was on that.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'd say to start off, I will be honest, it is a lot easier to gain followers on TikTok than it is on Instagram. Because as you can tell, because I started Instagram in 2018 and I only have 66.8 thousand followers. I was saying only, sorry. But on TikTok, yeah. But on TikTok, I started making content on TikTok in 2020 and I have 1.2 million followers. So it kind of shows the difference in how fast each platform is. So if you were to want more followers, I'd say TikTok is your route because TikTok, it's a lot easier to gain followers on TikTok. And plus TikTok, you have to look at which apps are most popular now. And TikTok is one of the top social media apps out there right now. And so if you're a content creator, you want to get started on TikTok and start building there. But I will say that with losing followers and stuff, it depends on what you post. And you have to be, and it's all about consistency, especially with content creating. If you're not consistent with your postings, if you're not consistently posting every day or keeping your audience engaged with you, they're going to lose interest and they're going to leave. And it also depends on what you post, because if it's something I built my audience based on they like what I post. And this is the thing, is it comes differently with everyone. Not everyone is going to post the same thing. People post sports content, cooking content, humorous content. It just depends on what your audience likes. So if you keep creating content that engages your audience with you and keeps them engaged and they want more, you're going to get more followers and they're going to keep coming. But if you just continue to, because I've noticed that with mine is that I could easily, I'm gonna be honest, I think I had 75,000 followers on Instagram in the summer last year, but obviously it's gone down to 66 because I took like a 4-month break from creating content, just to work on myself a little bit, and that obviously shot the numbers down. So it shows if you're not engaging on the account every day or engage with your followers, you're gonna lose some people, and it just depends on your content as well, whether or not they're gonna stay interested or not.
Yeah, I don't think I know what to like. I've figured out. Everyone has like this is their niche that they post, and they're like, this is all they find. This is what the audience is here for. I don't think I've figured that out yet. So maybe that's.
But
why
that's
it
okay.
keeps
That's okay. You still have time though. You still have time to figure that out for yourself. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'm not gonna lie. For me, my what is it, niche? Is it? I think it's niche. I don't even know how to say it.
niche.
Yeah. Your niche. Yeah. So, my niche, right? But I'm gonna be honest. I took away from this. I got away from this niche. But another reason that got me my followers on TikTok was because a lot of people thought I looked like the Young Rock. So
that's
true. So a lot of people thought I looked like the Young Rock, and they liked me for that. So what I did was I started to notice in my this is another thing. In my comments, I would notice people saying, "Hey, this guy looks like a Young Rock, Young Rock, Young Rock, Young Rock," and my content was not rock related. It was just me being myself. But then the more comments I saw, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me give the people what they want. So I remember I made my first rock video, and it was literally me just raising my eyebrow like this, just doing that, and I got I think I had like 1.2 million likes on it. Yeah, out of all my videos, I was being myself, doing whatever I did. I was getting all these likes. It was nice. But once I started to click with the niche that like everyone liked, oh yeah, then everything started to explode for me. But I did it for a good year. I did rock content for a good year, but then I realized that it wasn't me. And I realized I had to go back to my roots. I realized that I had to get back to what what made me happy. And, you know, I had to get back to Pac as opposed to rock. And that's the one thing with social media is they'll get you. It'll get you. That's why I say be yourself. Always be yourself, no matter what. Because it got to a point where people were looking at me as the young rock as opposed to Pac. And that's what kind of hurt me a little bit, where I had to step away for a little bit and kind of regroup and find myself. Don't get me wrong, it was fun. Doing the whole rock thing was fun. It was great. You know, all the love I was getting, it was great. I loved it. But, you know, I had to get back and find myself again, which I have. And that's why I'm continuing to do, you know, original stuff. But yes, you still have time to find your niche. Keep going at it. You'll find it. You'll find it eventually. It will click. And once it clicks, do not take your foot off the gas. Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I love that advice. And I see that Jenny had a question in which it kind of relates to exactly what you were talking about, but maybe do you do anything different? Because I know you post on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm only looking at your Instagram and I see that you post TikTok videos there. So
yeah.
do you do anything different, or you just make videos and you just cross post?
So I realized that, you know, I post both on Instagram and TikTok because I noticed that some people, like, for example, people only have me on Instagram, but they don't have me on TikTok. So what I post on TikTok, I'll make sure it's on Instagram because most people don't have both platforms. And I keep everything the same though. The only thing I change is the framing. So because on TikTok it's the whole screen, but on Instagram it's just a little square, the square box that you see. But yeah, I keep everything the same, but I post on both platforms because I know half of my audience doesn't have Instagram, or half my Instagram audience doesn't have a TikTok. So yeah, I try to make sure both platforms get the love, get the same love.
Okay. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up this interview. Thank you very much, Pac, for being here. Your wisdom has been invaluable to us, and I just love the getting back to your authentic self. And I think for those of you who are new to the game, I haven't started anything yet. I really do want to start something, but I think you just have to start putting things out there, trying.
Yeah.
You can't, don't be afraid. And if something doesn't work, then you just adjust and then you move on. So thank you. We are so grateful to have you here as our guest today.
No problem. One thing I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
If y'all getting into content creating, do not be afraid. Just post. You're going to find someone who's going to like what you post. Like I said, don't expect everyone to like what you post. You're going to have that one person or that one group of people who are going to like you and are going to stick with you. Just post. Who cares what they say? Post. Just post.
I love it. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for that advice and wisdom. With that, I think I'm just going to pass it over to Dalal because I feel like part of our table topics was going to be to have people introduce themselves and what brought them here. And we did that kind of flip-flop in the beginning. So I want to just make sure that we have time in the end because we're actually going to try and keep this meeting going once a week. So I want to give time in the end for any questions and maybe even to start thinking about what next week's meeting is going to look like. So with that, I'm going to pass this over to Dalal.
Thank you, Gina. Are we doing a quick table topics?
We're going to
transition into.
Unless, do you want me to do a couple of questions? Let's see. Do we have time? 6:25?
Yeah, I bet we can squeeze a few in. We're a little behind, but there's always
all
room.
Right. Hillary, would you like to do a table topics?
No, I thought it's just a question. I don't know what table. I have a little bit question, but it's okay if you don't have time. It's okay.
A question for us, for Pac.
But he's already gone, right? It's okay. I follow him Instagram, so I can message him. I already follow him.
I think he's still here.
He's still here. What's your question?
So my question is, I know he's content creator. I know, like me, I'm not a actor or anything, but I'm just in real estate and you know, real estate funding, business, investing in businesses. I like to know like how often he posts his video per week or per whatever every day, or what is a hashtag like that it work for the, let's say if I am in real estate or business, I invest in business, or you know what kind of like idea that you can gain more, because I have 68 follower on TikTok because I just started last week. Okay, so is it the best way that for me to follow more people so I get more follower on TikTok, or I just keep posting the content? And then I'm not sure either my content is like related, because everything that I post is like, okay, about the property, about the business that we invest. Sometimes it's like about myself, sitting in the beach somewhere, drink some nice wine or something like that. So I'm kind of not sure if he understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that I want to be a content creator, but I just have some need advice to be like on the spot.
Yeah, no, I definitely, no, I hear what you're saying. I'd say especially with real estate, or with depending on what you're trying to post, definitely start off with what your business is. So hashtag wise, like for me, if I was to do like comedy, I would post hashtag funny video, hashtag comedy, hashtag this, because hashtags will attract different people from everywhere. So if you start off with hashtag real estate, hashtag business, hashtag finance, whatever your video is about, whatever you mention in your video, you can hashtag that. And those hashtags will reach a much bigger audience, because that's the one thing I learned when I first started. I didn't use hashtags, so my videos were kind of doing bad. But once I started hashtagging the right things that related to my video or what I was portraying on my video, it started to reach a much bigger audience, and that's how I was able to like have more people engage with me. So definitely figure out what you want to post, what message you're trying to put out, what kind of content you want people to see you as, and post it, but also hashtag the correct things, what your video relates to. And it depends also on what like you post, obviously, is what's going to matter. So definitely plan out what you're going to post that's going to relate to your business that you want to grow and you want people to see, and move from there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Pak, we do have one more question from Dina. She's asking about a mentor. Do you have a mentor? That is a great question. And also, I think, I lost it, but I want to say, what are your future goals for content creation?
So I'll answer the first question with mentoring. Mentor as in like someone who coaches me on this stuff or who pushes.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm actually what is it? Self-made, self-entrepreneur, self everything. Yeah. So basically I started from the ground. Yeah, I started from the ground up. I did this, I did it on my own. All the followers I've gotten, all organic. I'm too broke to buy a follower. So I don't engage with buying followers like that. I've built my following from the ground up, and that's one thing I'm proud to say is I was able to, motivate myself to do this. And I learned from other content creators as well. I didn't, I wasn't reaching out to them asking them, oh, can you post this for me? Can you do this for me? My biggest thing is, if you're going to rock with me, you're going to rock with me. If you want to post it yourself, go ahead and post it. I'm not going to try to egg you on and say, hey, post my video, because I just don't want to be too much of a hassle to anybody. So I just learned to, whoever wants to come my way and show love, they'll show love. But I'll also just learn. I'll watch people. I'll watch content creators. I'll watch different YouTube videos, and I'll get inspiration from others to push content. So yeah, really, my only mentor is just kind of based on like my own self. And what was the second question? Sorry.
Oh, she said long-term strategy.
Oh, long-term strategy. Or long-term strategy or long-term like goal.
Well, yeah, I mean, do you see yourself doing this for a long time?
I definitely want to get into the acting industry. I'm working with someone at the moment to try to get myself out there. But for right now, social media is going to be your biggest. That's the one thing I was taught from my, or I was, the person I'm working with, agent wise. She told me that the advantage we have nowadays is social media. So I'd say use social media to the best of your advantage because that's how you're going to grow and go far with with content creating. But I'm just doing content creating to just get myself out there, and I love making people smile and making them happy. So it's just I enjoy seeing people like in a good mood. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's all give him one big round of applause
Oh,
for
thank you. Thank you.
all of that. And I will pass it over to Dalal, our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Gina. Appreciate that. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pac, for an awesome segment right there. I'm going to just jump into our functionary roles. So we're going to get some reports. I'm going to call on Monique Wright for our counter and grammarian report. And I think she was keeping tabs on the word audience too, but she had a lot going on today. So come on in, Momo.
Hey, everybody, I'm Momo. And guess what? I think we use the word like about 50 to 75 times. That's pretty good considering, But anyways, I do want to say this, Paco, is I love what you said about acceptance because that's number one key. And for our audience, the audience we have here and the audience we have around us, observing that brings that energy that you have in here. And yes, you do look like dang on you sure do look like The Rock. And that video that you showed was yes. That video that you showed was awesome. It was spectacular. I laugh because I can relate to that. People knocking on my door and I want them to leave. I'm not just gonna go there, but I don't want to offend nobody. But yeah, that's what we got, like 53 to 75. That word was used time, like I just did. So we can just add it from there. That's all I got.
Thank you for that report. And thank you for taking it light on us. We didn't name nobody. It's a collective one, okay? So we're good. Between all of us, it's fair enough. Next up, we're going to call up our timer, Venu.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Dalal. I think the time which took for the interview was, I think I was told 20 minutes around that time. I think it took about 22 minutes or 23 minutes, which is okay, which is because that really added value to our segment right here. And we had a lot of questions from the audience as well. So I think that's all the timing report I have from my side. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster Dalal.
Thank you, Venu, for that timer's report. And I'm going to just jump into a brief summary of our meeting. I just want to say off the bat, I love the energy. As soon as I came in here, I could feel my spirit light up. And thank you, Gina, for starting us off on time and then handing the meeting over to Jim as our Toastmaster for today. You did awesome, Jim, because you really took time to meet the guests that are here today. And I got to hear so many interesting things, like all the different personalities that are in the room. My spirit was like, I get to learn from each person. Dina starting her new YouTube channel, Hillary in a new venture for her real estate, Pac with his humor. We all have something that we can bring into these rooms, and it just had me in a great mood. I'm just gonna say that's simple. And the segment between Gina and Pac, I felt like you really both gave your genuine hearts out through it. You really gave us things we can grow on, expand on, genuine, true answers that made us feel like not strangers. It didn't feel intimidating. You were asking wonderful questions, Gina and Pak. Thank you for being so open and considerate and abundant with what you gave out. I think that's really how we can grow from one another, is being open about the skill sets we have, where we hope to grow. And I think that speaks to the heart of the content creators meeting and what we aspire for this space to be. We want to grow, each of us individually and collectively, in this journey. And everybody has a different skill set, a different personality, uniqueness to them. And we had members that jumped right into the meeting and took on some roles. I mean, that is how we make this thing happen. So I'm really, really grateful to everybody being here today. I gained a lot from it, and I hope that in the future we keep building on this together. I just want to mention that a few things that the usual Toastmasters meetings look like. We have a few more functionaries than what we had today. We're usually more precise with timing, just because we like to ensure that the meeting flows effectively and people are in and out with the time that they had in mind. And from there, we hope to have more, individuals coming in as guests, but we also want the opportunity for each of us to be able to bring forth what we're working on and what we're developing as individuals in this journey. So I'm just really grateful and excited for this group and this meeting. So thank you, everyone. It wouldn't happen without you. And I'm going to now hand it back to our Toastmaster, Jim. Thank you.
Wonderful job, Dwell. Thank you for getting everybody some feedback on our meeting and the specific roles. I think we all got something we can work with. And the thing I really got to work with today, I think, was Pak's comment really about just being yourself. You can see a whole variety of different styles here in the meeting, and they all work. There's an audience out there, and they'll hit like or not based on what they think, but don't let them drag you into being something that isn't yourself. Just be yourself. Meanwhile, we have a few things to help make it happen. That was another one of Dalal's themes here, too. We have a couple of pieces of news, and Jenna, feel free to jump in if there's more to share. But I see you put in the chat a place for next week's agenda. This week, we decided to try to start doing these things every week as much as possible. Last week, we were not able to do this because Toastmasters had a speech contest that many of us were helping run at the same time. So we skipped the week and went for this week, but we're hoping to get onto a much more regular schedule. So please come back next week. If you'd like to sign up for one of the roles, you can do anything from counting the ums to being a speaker to being the Toastmaster. They're all available, and you can just simply write your name into the link that Jenna provided. That'll again be next Thursday, 5:30 again, same time, and we're hoping to make that a weekly pattern. Along with that, also please fill out the guest book if you didn't before too. We are trying to get the more regular pattern going. We're trying to make sure that we stay in touch with our guests. And what we really need to do next is convert them to people who are ready to sign up for the club. That involves signing up with Toastmasters. I think it'll be something like $80 or $90 for the first 6 months when the costs all come out. But
60. It's 60, Jim.
60? Okay. I was trying to add in the fee for I was trying to add in the other
Yeah,
charge.
unless we decide for the club. Yeah.
$60 per six months
60.
I think
for per month or per 6 months per month.
6 months.
Yes, yeah, that comes around every 6 months. That's the fee that the Toastmasters organization charges for any club. So
yeah.
So-
Oh, well, I don't know. I talked to Abhijit. He was saying for new members, it was $80 to get them onto Pathways as well. So is that correct?
Oh, so the new member fee will be $20.
Yeah. So for new members, the very first time it will be $80. But the question about mentors, one great thing about Toastmasters is as you get into doing speeches and everything, we pair you up with mentors within this club. And so you can have somebody to practice your content with. And we're trying out different things, because if for those of you who've never heard of Toastmasters before, we're a nonprofit educational organization that you can find Toastmasters clubs throughout the world, really. And as I've been doing a search, this is the first one that I've come across that's specifically content creators Toastmasters club. And I'm totally losing my train of thought of where it was going with that. Oh, but we're trying out different formats. So if you look at the agenda for next week, Dalal has just started up her podcast kind of recently. Her goal is to record one on Sunday. And what she's going to do at the next meeting, she's going to show us either an episode or a part of her episode. And we're going to have an evaluator evaluate her podcast, and then you'll be able to give her some written feedback too. So that's another value of having a community like this. You can test out some of your content with us, and we can give you honest feedback and help you so that you can feel more confident when you actually do post your your podcast, your blog, your social media post, whatever it is that you're thinking about.
Good. Yeah, if I like to join, you guys have to email me the
Yep. Yeah, I was going to get into at least how to do the next step. And probably the easiest thing to do if you fill out the guest book, and Jenna, if you want to just put the link in one more time,
Sure.
there are some questions there. They ask for your name and your email and your phone number and a couple of questions about how you heard about us. There's also a question about would you like to sign up? Just answer that question yes, and we'll kind of put you on the list. Once we get enough members where we can actually form this as an official Toastmasters club, then I think we'll come around and ask for money. Just wanted to make sure you knew that request would be coming at some point. We don't want to just spring it on people very late in the game. There's a lot of value. There's a lot of value. We hope you sign up.
Yeah. Just to add to what Jana said, I'm talking to a couple of best book-selling authors who can come in and share their thoughts on how to write a book and also tips and tricks on that. So stay tuned and follow Gina's emails so that we will schedule one of these international authors in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, just as exciting. Dalal's new podcast next week. So those will both be great.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
with the advice that Pac gave, that I accept the feedback as it comes. It's part of the flow. I'm ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Anything you think we should add, Jenna? Otherwise, please sign the guest book if you're interested in joining. At least just check the box so we know that we know to put you on that list. And when we're ready to start up the club, we're seeing lots of support. So I think we're going to get there sooner rather than later.
Right.
We can go do that.
So I also would like to know feedback from other folks here, Eva, Jenny, and others. Yeah, go ahead, Eva.
Yes, thank you so much. This is my second time that I come to this meeting, and I love it. I love the fact because for me, I was looking more to join a group like for content creator and not too much about Toastmasters, but I love the mix. But the thing is, the table topics, I love this time better because we had more time to hear and to interview our main speaker, because it was very, very interesting to know his experience and to know, and definitely I wanted to make more questions, and there are other people I know that wanted to know more about him. And that is, I think that if it could be as a feedback, could be that agenda, that the place to be table topics, to have that time with the speaker to ask all those questions, more questions. So like this time. So thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Pac, for being here. Oh, I love your speech, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Wonderful, Eva. I cannot echo more than what you said. Puck has been phenomenal. And thank you, Puck, for accepting to be here and sharing all your experience with us. And I'm sure people, Eva, Hillary, everybody is like totally like the interview format. So thank you. Anyone else would like to share? Sanel Suri? Am I pronouncing?
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering if we could start to share each other's channels, and I'd love to follow people and
Okay.
offer support and get feedback. If there's some sort of mechanism to do that, I think that would be super helpful.
Okay, awesome. So we will try to incorporate that feedback and have these channels circulated out to all the people. I think Puck has already Dalal has put Puck's channels information in Instagram and then TikTok. So you already have that information. But otherwise, also we will keep that and we can circulate that as well. Yeah, thanks for your suggestion.
And other than that, yeah, it was a great meeting. I found it very helpful, and it was
Thank you. Thank you.
Super helpful,
Yeah, Hillary. Yes, please.
Yeah, so my goal is to I like to join the Toastmaster. I like to have my own podcast.
Wonderful.
I like to
Wonderful.
I like to create the what do you call like interview people, like people that have some skill. Like for example, I forget his name. He used AI to do some he just talked earlier. What's his name? He just talked earlier.
Sunil, hi.
Yes, Sunil. Hi, Sunil. I really like to connect with you. You saying that you use AI to do the podcast and everything. So my goal is, I like to get my own podcast in the future, and I like to be able to. I don't know if you heard, what is this? Sanchez, the lady that do business funding. I think her name is Sandy Sanchez. I think, yeah, Cody Sanchez. I like to become like her, so that way I can, I learn business program. I want to be comfortable to do either broadcast and also like right now I'm just trying to put a piece together, try to learn more. Maybe we can work together and with the Toastmaster to get where I want to be. Yeah.
Thank you, Hillary. I think you brought up a very good point because the whole thing, I don't know whether Dalal, Jenna, or Jim has shared, the whole reason why we put this whole thing together and connected with Toastmasters is we want to build this community where we can offer both Toastmasters benefit as well as the content creators benefits in one platform. So that way anybody can join here and they can use this as a community to exchange ideas and go through all these different thought process, especially like Puck, what he shared. Just be yourself and don't just keep posting, keep engaging with the audience. That's exactly what those are the things which we really love to hear as a part of the content creator. So thank you, Puck. I keep going back to your stuff. It is so great. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll probably stop here. I'll hand it over to one of Jenna or Dalal or Jim. Maybe you guys can.
Yes, I will close this out. So I want to thank all of you for being here. This was a really great meeting. A special shout out to Monique for jumping in and taking on a role as a new guest to this meeting, and of course to Puck for his knowledge and wisdom, and everybody else for participating. So with that, I officially end this meeting, and we'll stay on for another few minutes if anybody else has any questions. But I hope you have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week. We'll be here, same Zoom link.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys next week.
You guys, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jaya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dalal. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Puck.
Bobo.
Thank you, guys. I
I
appreciate
will be
y'all.
following you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. I'll follow you back. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, Puck.
Have a good one.
That was fun.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was